The Enclave was once the heart of magical development and trade for practitioners of magic all across the Maida Basin. Not all weavers claimed it as their home, but those that did built a legacy of progress, constructs, and innovation. The likes of which have not been seen since the Surge, almost half a century ago, when a cascade of arcane disasters racked the Maida, and without warning, the Enclave sealed itself away behind a magical wall known as the Veil. Rich and powerful leaders were wounded and killed. Decades of war broke out. Every nation suffered an economic collapse. The world is calmer now, but magic has been shunned, taking the blame for decades of unrest. Weavers remain pariahs to this day. Most places tolerate us if we don't stay too long. While some weavers remember what it was like before the Surge, I've never known a time when weavers had a home. I chose this life years ago, but I'd be lying if I said it's lived up to all I hoped it would be. Still, my luck might be changing. A few weeks ago, I began traveling with a new weaver band. Now, they've brought me here, where it all began. Oh.
Thanks.
Bryn! Over here. What do you think?
When you told me that joining your band meant I'd see the Veil, I wasn't picturing this.
No one's been this close in years. The base is shrouded in tangles. Weavers have known about this safe zone in the Veil's shadow for decades, but no one has found a route into it. And you have no idea what I had to do to puzzle out this passage.
I definitely want to hear that story later.
My hope is that we're going to find artifacts from the Enclave itself deeper into the shadow. I'll stay to oversee the camp setup. Why don't you take the preliminary scouting expedition?
Really?
Of course. It's important for the other weavers to see how you do in the field. The map I bartered for in Tarza suggests there's a watchtower deeper into the valley. Shouldn't be too far from where we are.
That's my first landmark, then?
Yes. It should help us get our bearings before we start the search for the Strand Road. And if you make any discoveries, that will endear you to the band.
For sure. I'd love to find my footing with the rest of them.
I'll act as the watcher on the scry and pull you back if anything gets too dangerous. Just steer clear of the tangles. Any questions before you head out?
The Strand Road?
A famous trade route into the Enclave that led straight to Denevron. The hub for bartering magical goods. Before the Surge, caravans used the Strand Road to enter and exit the Enclave with their goods. It's been completely submerged by tangles, unfortunately. Still, if we can get any closer to that passage, we will find rare artifacts lost in the Surge.
That clears up anything I needed to know.
Glad to hear it. You can head out then.
I need to reach the watchtower, not head back to the caravan.
No visuals on the scry. Can you hear me?
I can. Some interference.
Must be the tangles. Still, strong enough to pull you out like you practiced. Dom?
I'm on it.
The veil. Even more impressive up close.
Just this should magnify the enchantment, and
Tangles. Beautiful.
And deadly. Give them a wide berth. The closer you get to the veil, the thicker they'll become.
its shadow is believed to be impenetrable.
Until now.
That wall is completely frozen.
We should expect enchantments to act strangely this close to the veil.
See those glowing bulbs? Infernal alliums. They combust when broken.
So, if I toss one at the wall, its fire will melt the ice.
Brilliant! Best to use kinetic magic to keep clear of the blast.
Perfect. Knowing the watchtower's relative position establishes the distance to the Strand Road. You can come back to... What is that?
Coral. There were rumors of a living mineral that grew deep beneath the Enclave's surface. It seems they were true.
There's more of it in that cave. I could take a closer look.
Too risky to deviate from the plan. First outing was just to reach the watchtower.
This is going well. I say we check it out before finishing the expedition. Beautiful. I've never seen anything like it.
Darm's right about it being a living mineral. I can feel it humming with magic.
Wait, I'm losing...
Aurea?
Connections back.
Was that a drake?
Yeah.
Pulling you out.
He just breath. I knew this was a bad idea.
We can't extract you.
Darm, fix it. And Lane have tonics on standby for her return. Good. Head out of the cave so we can get our bearings.
It's an Ash Peak drake.
Quick, your frost magic can cool a path. Good. Darm's still working on the scribe, but you need to keep moving. Lane, got anything from the map?
There should be a minor patrol path ahead that loops back to the watchtower. Oh, it runs close to the Vale, though.
It's our only option.
I'm on it.
Aurea, that drake's acting...
Let's just focus on getting her back safe.
I'll go back to unpacking the armory.
Good. Damn it, Casmin was right. That Drake is rotting. Erratic flight. Aggressive. It won't stop.
Skies, what do we do?
We get you back to the caravan fast. Clear line of fire. Good time to use your bow.
If I'm reading the map correctly, following this brook should lead to the path guards used to reach the watchtower prior to the surge.
That Drake is never far behind. Just keep going.
That's the path.
You're doing great, Bryn. Final stretch.
That can't be an ark.
No one has seen one in almost 50 years, let alone outside the Veil.
The Archons never left the Enclave. Still, you need to get... You've got to hold it off. We'll work on an escape plan.
isn't the strangest.
What the? Hang on, Bryn.
Everything okay back there?
Change of plans, everyone! Pack up!
You're...
What? We're coming to you, Bryn. Follow that arm. We need to go. Now. Up ahead! Lead! Ah! I'm fine. Keep moving! Guys, the Ark!
Has anyone else noticed we're practically sitting on a loom gate?
That can wait, Dom. Aurea, you should be resting. If your wing doesn't heal, our point is out of commission.
That's what I need to address. While my wing recovers, Bryn will take over expeditions as our acting point.
You sure she's ready for all of this?
Bryn did face down an Ash Peak Drake and lived to tell the tale. I think we're in good hands.
Yes. I have every confidence that she will make a great point.
As long as we don't all die here first.
All my life, if I wasn't dreaming about becoming a point, I was working towards it. To do it alongside a renowned Weaver band, it's a chance to make history. I won't let you down.
That's the spirit.
Exactly. When we first set out to investigate the Veil's shadow, we had no idea we'd end up here. The Enclave was once a safe haven for all Weavers, and the pinnacle of innovation. Since the Veil went up, Weavers took the blame for decades of war. Stories that put children to bed, preached the evils of our magic, all because of what happened here. We owe it to ourselves and to our brethren across the Maida to find out not just what happened, but why. Maybe then, Weavers can find our place in the world again. But first, survival. Bryn, that's you and me. Find me when you're ready. Adjourned.
So after all the legends, this is it. The Enclave.
Legends for you, maybe. Some of us trained under Weavers who were born here. Still, it is surreal to see it for myself now. You're going to be out there, exploring. Promise to take it all in for me.
I was made for this, Aurea. Failure hasn't even crossed my mind.
Watch that ego. Overconfidence can come back to smack you in the face. That said, getting smacked in the face is your job from time to time. Just learn from it when you can.
I know, I know. I got this.
Anyway, enough with the sentimentality. For your first expedition, we need to get the lay of the land. Thankfully, Lane Free has an old map of the Enclave to help us get our bearings. It's 60 years old, pre-Surge. No chance it's accurate, but that's where you come in.
I'll update it as I go.
Exactly. We've made camp in what was once a way station for caravans entering the Enclave. Just below us is Glintwood Hollow, a valley on the outskirts of the Enclave. I've scanned it from the Overlook, and we've got 2 landmarks of note. A second loom gate, and what appears to be a giant statue. Possibly an ark.
You can see it from here? Must be massive.
If either is functional, Dom will throw you a party. I'll be with you on the scry. With fewer tangles, we're hoping the connection will be stronger. The path is down by your tent.
I'll head out now.
I've got you clear as a sands of summer, Bryn.
No interference from the Enclave?
None. The connection is much stronger than outside the Veil.
That's reassuring.
More arcs.
And they're clearly happy we're here.
Arcs were supposed to be used for manual labor. Hostility is strange.
Fresh water, in walking distance of the campsite.
I'll set up a purifier for it and collect later.
Hydra's broth, aptly named for the spirit of water that flows.
Point. What a beautiful view.
Creatures could be hunted for food. Any of these plants look edible?
Dan will put anything in his mouth if he's curious enough. Whatever he doesn't vomit, we'll eat.
Just try not to poison him.
treacherous lake.
But lakes are still. Why name it after the spirit of flowing water?
I was right. It is an ark. A great one.
It isn't moving. I'll get a closer look. This must be the second loom gate.
What's covering the base?
I'll check it out. A lot of debris on the platform. I could clear it with kinetic magic.
What about the loom gate itself? Is it functional?
No sign of life, but see that cloud of raw magic? It's leaking from the broken pipe near the edge of the platform.
So we have two powerless loom gates and a tangle leaking out of an enclave construction. I wonder if Lane still has that treatise we picked up in Taza.
And he's gone. An ark of the stricken earth, I would guess. Any chance you could bring a piece of it back to camp?
Doubt my sword is strong enough.
Then there's not much we can do with this for now. Dom seems to have an idea about the loom gate, at least. Two Enclave constructs. Neither of them functional. Good news. Lane found a shortcut back to our camp for you, and we've got the Wisp working.
The Wisp?
Watch as Wisp. Channel a little magic into your earpiece. I'll redirect it to guide you from the scry to the shortcut.
I see the path.
Good. That should take you to the shortcut.
That should be it. According to my map, it's a man-made tunnel that grants easy access to the way station.
Bryn's back. Let's fill her in.
We believe we found a way to activate the Loom Gate in our camp and in Glintwood Hollow.
With the Loom Gates active, we could expand our search of the Enclave. Who knows what we might find?
The potential for discovery is endless.
Agreed. So, how do we repair a Loom Gate?
What made the Enclave remarkable was not merely their constructs, but their ability to power them. It has long been rumored that beneath our very feet exists an extensive magical network known as the Tapestry. The pipe you found in Glintwood Hollow is proof of its existence. It must be a conduit that directs raw magic to the Loom Gates as a source of power.
And the tangle that formed around it was a leak.
Precisely. Our theory is that patching the rupture will restore power to the gate.
Thankfully, Seven Lane have a plan for that.
We don't know a lot about Arcs, but I dug up some old stories from logs that we inherited from a weaver band that broke apart. In notes dated before the Surge, this band managed to get one of the enchanters who worked on the Arcs riotously drunk and talking.
Apparently, the Arcs have a thin carapace between their skin and their armor plates that's nigh immune to magic, and can be separated in segments. A magically resistant material like that would be perfect to seal a rupture in the tapestry.
So I need to cleave this carapace off the Arc? There's no way my sword is strong enough.
Come see me and we can make some improvements to Sola's forge. Which, in turn, means...
I could hone your sword so we can cleave the carapace, no problem.
We'll talk.
One more thing. You'll need to remove the debris on the Loom Gate's platform so that we've got a clear workspace once the patch is forged.
Easy enough?
Everyone's got a part to play in this. Let's get to work.
Hey, I know we need to fix up the forge, but before we do, I'd like to talk to you about something.
Sure. What's up?
I owe you an apology.
What for?
I've been a little cold since you've arrived, and I should have been more welcoming. I was just under a lot of stress with everything that happened.
You mean when we ran for our lives from a death cloud into a lost land?
Yeah, that. And losing supplies, and Aurea getting injured, and then having a point takeover who...
Lacks experience.
At the time, that's what it seemed like. But ever since we arrived, you've been more than proving yourself. You made finding food and water a top priority. That's when I realized our Weaver band is in good hands. I underestimated you when I shouldn't have. And frankly, I was a jerk about it.
It's okay, Cass.
No, it's not. I really am sorry. I hope we can have a better relationship moving forward.
Thanks. That means a lot. Let's just start fresh, okay?
I'd love that.
So, I know Sola mentioned improvements to her forge meant being able to hone my sword. What does that entail exactly?
Unfortunately, the missing supplies I mentioned.
Is there a way I can help you restock?
Right now, we reserve the materials you bring back for your armors and weapons, because that's the priority. But if there's anything you can spare, I can repurpose them into supplies for our campsite.
Sounds simple enough.
Glad to hear it.
You've been busy.
It's a work in progress. Speaking of, are you doing okay?
I'm fine. We breached the
Treasures and glory.
and bars singing.
Oh, and listen, right now, we need to focus on getting our feet back.
These are a great start. With the supplies we've got already, we could shape up our campsite. We lost a lot of stuff when we were running for our lives, and frankly, our setup is only half of what it should be. But we can rebuild.
What do you have in mind?
Like we discussed, Sola could forge better weapons with improvements to her smithy. Like honing your sword so it can cut through arc armor. Alternatively, Dom could certainly care better for her mantles with new tools for weaving. And to keep you in fighting form, having Lane's alchemical tools in top form is invaluable. There's no end to the improvements we could make around here. And everyone's lives would be safer for it.
What about you?
Me? Oh, I don't need anything.
Come on, there must be something.
I mean, would new shelves be nice? Sure. I also have some ideas for your supply pouches. But don't worry about me. I'm fine. Right now, improving Sola's forge is more important.
I know our band has made the most of what we've got so far, but who wouldn't like a fresh coat of paint? This is a great idea. You can count on me.
Thanks, Bren. Aurea. It's Lane, by the way.
What's that?
They don't like to be called Lane Frey. I heard you saying it to Bren earlier. That's the name their parents chose. Lane is the name they chose.
Fair enough. Didn't realize. Thank you for letting me know. Lane, Lane, Lane. Not Lane Free, but Lane.
Sola is delighted with the improvements to her forge. She can refine your sword as soon as you'd like. Great work, Bren.
Turns out we make a pretty good team. This campsite will be top of the line in no time.
Yeah. We're definitely going to need to start directing a water flow to the camp. Maybe even install a fountain in the back. Would help to get a garden going in here too. Fruits, vegetables, medicinal herbs. Oh, that reminds me, we'll need the... What?
Do you ever take a break? You know, to enjoy a job well done?
Sure. Sometimes. Once there are fewer fires to put out, I'll relax. I swear.
Just try to remember, it's not the end of the world if you take a break. Someone will step in to help lighten your load.
It doesn't always feel like the others realize how much needs to get done.
Then tell them. Like how you told me we needed supplies. I stepped in to help, didn't I?
You did. I see your point.
The others will do the same.
Maybe. I'd better get back to work, but... this was nice.
I knew we'd recover. We always do. Still feels nice to have my core tools back this quickly.
Still a long way to go, but we'll get there.
Speaking of, I've something for you. We've been scavenging around the way station and reclaimed a fair amount of useful materials. They're stored away and ready for you. Should be enough to reforge your sword as we discussed.
Sounds like it's time to make something that can punch through arc armor.
That's the spirit.
Sola, this plan to repurpose Carapace to fix the Loongate's conduit? Pure elegance.
Sev's idea. I only helped him with the design.
You did more than help. You practically finished it.
What is this? Competition of humility? You're both brilliant, just like this design.
I can agree with that.
I suppose.
There you go. Not just good as new. Better.
Now that I can cut the carapace free, what's next?
Whenever the band is collaborating on a problem, I'm often the one to create the design, and you'll put it together with me. At least normally they're my designs. Sev actually came up with this one. With carapace and enough metal, I can forge his patch for the leaking conduit.
Any particular metal required?
No, just enough of the same type. Sev and I try to keep our designs flexible, to work with whatever we've got in the caravan. Once you have everything we need, we'll forge the patch here.
That's the edge of how far I can push the scribe. It'd be like in the Veil's shadow all over again. You're coming up on the Ark of the Stricken Earth. With a stronger sword, hopefully the carapace will come off easy.
This might take a while.
You'll need to swing harder to cut through armor that thick.
What's happening?
Retrieving the carapace is going to be trickier than we thought.
Is she really ready to fight that thing?
Catch your breath. When you're ready, you can climb the arc to attack it from different angles. Magic isn't coursing through that patch of skin anymore. Move on. See those discs? Those are holding the armor in place. Those are holding the armor in place. Those discs, those are holding the armor in place. That's it! Hit the exposed skin with everything you've got.
are unstoppable, Ren.
I was worried we might lose our chance to get the carapace, but you secured it.
Any concerns about using the Archon strand, Dom?
Concerns? None. Excitement? Considerable. We should be able to weave that strand into your mantle, Bryn.
All right. With kinetic magic, I should be able to clear the base of the... All done.
Nice work, Bryn. We should have enough space to work on fixing that pipe now.
Perfect.
You think this patch will fix the leaking pipe?
Yes. And with the debris cleared, why don't you tell Arya we've got everything we need to fix the loom gate?
Me?
Acting or otherwise, major communication should come from the point.
I'll keep that in mind. The patch is ready, and I've cleared the debris at the Loom Gate in Glintwood Hollow.
Excellent work, Bryn. Time for you to take a well-earned rest while the band heads into the Hollow.
You sure you don't need me to come?
We've got this, and you need the break.
All right, if you say so. Aurea, how's it going?
Bryn, you're awake. We're making progress over here. Careful with that.
Hey, no one came back to camp, did they? Is the rest of the band still with you?
We're all here, and the leak is just about fixed.
Hey, wait, I just want to talk. That was incredible.
Hey, couldn't have done it without you.
Actually, we couldn't have done it without Sev. I didn't expect you to have such a deft hand with magical conduits.
I'm not... I mean... We just got lucky it held.
Not to distract from the victory, but something happened while you were gone. I saw something. Well, someone.
A Hearthsider?
Maybe. The figure was masked and standing at the edge of the camp. I think they were watching me. Before they disappeared.
How friendly.
If there are people still left in the Enclave, we need to find them. They can tell us what happened here.
Yes. I was just thinking we should chase down the scary masked figure that likes to watch Bryn sleep.
Hey, even asleep, I am a pretty fearsome presence. Seriously, though. We just burst through their veil, defeated their massive arc, and powered up their lost enchantments. Wouldn't you be scared of us if you were an Enclave Weaver?
That's actually not a bad point.
Friendly or hostile, if there are Hearthsiders, we need to find them.
Agreed.
And the good news is, fixing the Loom Gate didn't just give us easier access to Glintwood, it expanded our scry's reach.
So scries are somehow connected to the Enclave's tapestry?
Every scry was built here.
This means you not only have access to the Loom Gate, but you can safely explore further.
Incidentally, our maps indicate that there is a village beyond the Hollow in a large swathe of wetlands known as Dredger's Mire.
Perhaps we'll find our Hearthsider there. Bryn, why don't you brief with Lane before your next expedition?
Sounds good.
After that, it's time to use the Loom Gate.
Why didn't you guys return using it yourselves?
We needed to take a key swatch back to camp in order to connect the two. We'll make sure you have a key swatch to connect any other loom gates to this one from now on.
Here to brief.
I like to know everything I can before venturing off to a new place.
Just beyond the forested hills of Glintwood Hollow lies the wetlands known as Dredger's Mire. Much like the Hollow, the Enclave prospected many of the raw materials needed for its ambitious constructs and projects from the mire. Oh, it's no coincidence you found the Ark of the Stricken Earth near a collapsed mine. Likely, it was used for the excavation of minerals and metals before the surge. I believe the natural surroundings of the Mire were also rich in resources. The Enclave even settled a small village there known as Poldervale.
Which is where I might find that masked figure that was watching me.
It's possible. Regardless, do you have any questions before you head out?
Thanks for the info, Lane. I think I'm ready to head out.
My pleasure. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. I didn't have the biggest role to play in the Loom Gate's repair. I'm not exactly handy with a hammer. But watching the band work gave me an idea for a new alchemical project. Its working name is a Loom Shard.
A Loom Shard?
Yes, it's a shard that could draw magic from a Loom Gate and bring you back to camp safely, wherever you are.
How is this different from Aurea pulling you back with the scry?
Unaided, Aurea can only summon enough magic to bring you back safely, not all the valuables you might have collected on your expedition. Because this shard draws magic from the tapestry, it can bring you back safely with all you've gathered.
Thanks, Lane.
Ready?
Let's do this.
First trip through the Loom Gate is a success.
Hopefully more trips to come. To new and exciting places.
The Sodden Pass. A fitting name for the road to the wetlands.
I'm pulling you. Brace for it. According to the maps, you're getting close to Dredge's Mire.
Designed for a two-hander. Looks like it was being packed up to ship.
It'll be exciting to work off an Enclave design firsthand.
I know you're excited to explore, but first things first. Use our key swatch with a loom gate in the mire, so that it's easy to return.
Right. I'll check the maps.
Perfect. I can see the connection. We'll be able to come...
Try to bring this back in one piece.
This is Poldervale, but what happened? The village is completely frozen.
This can't be natural.
I think it's safe to say no one lives here. Where else could I look for a hearth cider?
I can't quite remember why, but something tells me you should search for a watchtower. The maps indicate there may be some nearby.
Doubt security would be active if the village was vacated.
Just, trust me on this. I've got some cross-referencing to do.
All right, Bryn. You heard them.
Watchtower. Got it. Just like home. You're round the corner and the glaciers wait to breathe. There's a watchtower ahead.
Found the tome I was looking for. It mentioned that key swatches were held by security in the Enclave's more remote villages. It ensured their loom gates could be reconnected to more central locations if needed. Perhaps our hearth cider won't be in the watchtower, but a key swatch to Deneveran could be.
Genius, Lane. Nice work. The Archon expanse. Pre-surge, the Arks trod this passage daily to transport and farm resources from the outskirts.
Another drake.
This one doesn't seem as aggressive. Must not be rutting.
Should leave you alone unless you get close.
According to this logbook, all the key switches were removed from the Poldervale Watch a few years after the surge.
Strange.
But there was one key switch that was borrowed and never returned by the mayor at his residence in Poldervale.
Perhaps it's still there.
It'll be tough for me to withstand the cold long enough to search for it.
The rest of the band could help you navigate that. Try discussing your challenge with a few of them next time you're at camp. I've got you.
Got the key swatch. And unlimited access to the Enclave's capital.
Amazing, Bryn.
Denevron awaits.
Impressive, Bryn. We're on our way to Denevron. Thanks to you.
Everyone helped. I just did my part.
In a well-run band, everything takes teamwork, that's for sure. But don't downplay your role in this. Since you've been crisis promoted to point, we've felled a great arc, restored a construct, and now we've got access to the Enclave's capital. Not everyone could accomplish what you have, let alone in our current circumstances. In fact, most would crumble under the pressure.
Don't get me wrong, I know I'm doing good here. But honestly, having just left a band that fought and backstabbed one another, I really appreciate the level of teamwork that went into this. The others are lifting me up, and I don't take that for granted.
That's good to hear. I know they're as impressed with you as I am.
Thanks, Aurea.
Now, enough talk. You've got a city to explore.
Incredible.
I've traveled all over, but I've never seen a city quite like this.
Denevron. The Enclave's capital city. The architecture was built to accommodate the Enclave's largest archons.
Oh, good. I thought I'd shrunk using the loom gate.
The city looks as though it's been completely abandoned.
Let's break down the search. Who's got ideas?
Government and archives will establish a history. The closest government buildings can be found in steps. You're clearly in Upper Denevron, so according to our map, it shouldn't be far.
People need supplies. Supplies are in markets. And the markets in Lower Denevron.
And there's the Bastion on the edge of the city. The military would be involved in any disaster response, and the surge certainly counts. 3 good leads. Bryn, it's your call. This must be the Atrium of Champions.
Champions?
The most accomplished weavers were honored with statues.
An Ark of the Living Flame. Lightly armored compared to the others. Expect things to get hot. same strand for your mantle.
Odd. That ark's just standing there. No sign of damage, but there's something lodged in the back plate. It's a thingy.
So technical. I'll take a look later.
The Enclave. Judging by the size of this statue, he certainly wasn't shy about his accomplishments.
That arch should lead you to the lower city.
A body. Ahead. Outfit looks like our spying friends.
So, it's a uniform. often heard that as you entered the perch, the bustle of Denevron would begin to crescendo until it peaked in the market.
There's a note in his pouch. New drop. Market loom gate, it says. But... wait. Under his mask, he's... scorched. Aurea, this looks like the wound on your wing. Only... it's... everywhere.
But there's no tangle there.
No, it's clear.
Concerning.
I think we should look into that drop his note mentioned.
Especially if it's near a loom gate.
For a band of weavers who just discovered a long-lost city, you don't look very excited.
The prospect of imminent death has put a dampener on things.
While you were out, I found a note. A warning, actually.
We suspect our Hearthsider friend snuck back into the camp.
The letter cautions us that a phenomenon referred to as the Flood is hot on our heels. The Flood is essentially a torrential wave of deadly raw magic that will completely overtake the outskirts and Denevron. Apparently this is a cyclical disaster preceded by extreme weather. Anyone caught in it will die, meaning us.
The tangle-scorched body you found must have been killed by it.
Hence, we're taking the warning seriously.
Honestly, that's not the news I was hoping to hear. But it doesn't change anything.
You did hear Dom say torrential wave of raw magic, right?
Yes. I also heard cyclical, and that it was a Hearthsider who warned us about it. Which means our goal of finding out what happened to the Hearthsiders hasn't changed. If anything, we're one step closer to it.
If this flood is cyclical, it means the Hearthsiders are surviving it somehow. Maybe they have a safe haven on high ground, or enchantments of some kind. All this means is we need to track down the Hearthsiders now more than ever. As though
our lives depend on it.
Yeah, that.
The architecture in Denevron is simply magnificent. I have asked our third friend to join us since he demonstrated such insight with the Loom Gates.
It was just a lucky guess.
Nonsense. The Loom Gate works. Enough said.
Gents, the, thingy?
Dom said you found it attached to an ark. One that was shut down.
No sign of damage, but this part came off easily.
Safe to assume it wasn't part of the original construction, then. The arcs are famously durable.
Bryn, think back. How does it compare to the ark we found outside the Veil?
Exactly the same. Completely motionless. At least, at first.
We should take another look at our newest friend, then. Care to do the honors?
surge hadn't hit so hard, the steps would lead to the spire. Alas. Elected representatives would convene there, including the Enclave's leader.
Imagine a time when Weavers had our own governing body. According to the old maps, that path leads to the Bastion, their military stronghold. This must be the Bastion.
A large military was never the Enclave's priority. They did not aspire to conquer. Instead, they focused on defense. Their core interest was protecting not only their civilians, but their cutting-edge innovations.
Far jump, even for you.
Too bad I don't have wings.
Feathers wouldn't suit your face. Lane, any idea what that pillar is?
I did find a reference to the Trial of Fires, a rite of passage for new Bastion Swarm before they could cross over to their new life.
Crossing over? Trial of Fires? Unsubtle. Bryn, what happens if you make it hot?
still. You'll have no trouble when it's your turn to head back out in the field.
Be sure to scour the bastion.
The officer's gate was guarded by arcs. Access through the moon gate was restricted.
Well observed, Sev. You were correct.
Just a lucky guess.
Up. No more of that. Lady, gentlemen, I think we can confidently assert conspiracy.
2 devices does start a pattern.
And a pattern that must predate the Surge, since we found a device that was outside the Veil.
True. That gives us a what and a when, but leaves a whom, a how, and a why.
And how many arcs have been affected?
It does follow that if we found 2, there could be more.
I'll keep an eye out for tampered arcs.
Some may have restarted on their own, like the one we followed through the Veil.
They're going to fight back, aren't they?
It does seem to be, our luck, yes.
An abandoned you haven't stayed a great.